welcome back to Casters and Castle. Did I do that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Casters and Castles. I was thinking. I'm NinjaManMat. As always, I'm here with my illustrious Group 1 cast, consisting of Karaoke, Miss Pixie Riot, Nighttime, and Tormented by Gnomes. Did you guys enjoy your break?
Yeah.
Yes. I let the kittens out.
Excellent.
They're running loose now.
I woke up my cats, so they are also running loose.
Oh, good.
I took Arrow outside for a minute. We hung out. It was good.
Oh, excellent. Fan-diddly-tastic. Well, we had just reconvened. There was a rather interesting engagement as you were making your way down the main river, cutting its way through the region of Dorswa. You saw a weird log with eyes, and then this fiery brimstone smoke appeared over the water, and a headless figure that seemed familiar to all of you, although you couldn't quite place who it was riding atop of a nightmare. In its wake, on a carpet of flame and smoke, were redcaps, a half dozen of them. When they attacked the boat, you were covered in a protective shell, and none of them were able to get through it. However, the nightmare before leaving did set the boat aflame, and the redcaps began to assault and destroy your boat. Only through the quick thinking of you and your group were you able to rise the ship out from the water, put out the flames, and escape not only the redcaps, but the large crocodilian frog-like predator that had been tracking you. It devoured many, if not all, of the redcaps, and you left your newly formed friend Yarny behind with the carnage. You were able to find a nearby settlement. It was a little bit off of your initial path. Instead of staying on the water, Drake had directed you to a settlement not far from the river, and you were able to put down there. You and your group are now waiting while repairs are underway. Let me go ahead and take you to where we're going to be here. And you're going to be staying at this location for a little while. Drake has assured you that the repairs are underway, and he's had to dip into his savings a bit in order to get this repaired and call in a favor or two. He holds up the 4 gold that each of you had presented him with to keep him quiet for the day. Look, I know you folks had already paid me for this, and despite what had happened, I no longer have those funds. That's usually what I do in order to keep this thing going. So I was kind of wondering if possibly you'd be okay with me, considering recent circumstances, increasing our quiet time to 2 gold per day, just so I could try and make back what had happened to my poor.
I just hand him 50 gold.
Understandable. Have a nice day. This will work. Okay. I'm gonna leave you folks to your evening, and he gestures over. That one over there is yours for the night. A rather nice family decided to go ahead and bunk with somebody else, and they're leaving that one for you. So have fun. I'm gonna go check in on my nameless boat, and he takes off and makes his way into the area where the nameless boat is receiving its repairs. And unless there's anything that you lot would like to do over the course of this evening, it's been a pretty long day, and despite the fact that there was some extremely magical tea that was able to alleviate a lot of your weariness and concerns, is there anything you'd like to do before bedding down for the night?
I'm going to do another tea ceremony and share it with our illustrious hosts. It doesn't need to be on camera. It doesn't need to be a scene. That's just what I'm doing.
Excellent. All right, Camellia, before the family leaves, you are going to treat them to a rather excellent tea party. Would anybody like to join Camellia, or are you going to be squaring off and doing anything else until you go to bed?
I think I'm going to sit down for tea.
I don't think Chi will wander too far. She might take a look around, but then would come back, basically. She's not really planning on doing anything.
Okay, very good. And Kyle?
Kyle's pretty exhausted, but also kind of likes to get the lay of the land anytime she's in a new place. So she's probably just gonna do a quick little walk around the settlement before she settles in. Nothing like really nosy or anything, just like
Yeah,
how big is this space? How many places are there where we may get surprised from? That kind of thing. Just like a
absolutely.
quick bit of reconnaissance.
Are Kyle and Chi, are you going together or staying separate during this little looky-loo?
We can wander together
Mm-hmm.
if that's
fine.
okay with
Yeah.
you as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She would be keeping a lookout, by the way, for Mark of the Syndicate anywhere.
Perfect. Why don't each of you go ahead and give me either a perception or investigation check, which will give you different information depending on what you do. And you are no longer within the fog, so your rolls are back to normal again. Both of you got a 16 for perception and for investigation. So, G, once again, pretty far away from your homeland, you do not see any, at least from what you've been able to look around, you don't see any markings made from either your your faction special paint or even the sigil made from anything else. It appears that if it turns out any of your group did come this way, they did not leave a sign saying as such. And Kyle, during your interaction with this locale, both you and Chi are able to put together that it is very defensible. It's a rather small community. It's not much larger than the space that you see before you. Little more than a dozen homes. However, these are not like ramshackle little shacks. Each one of these homes is actually well put together and very defensible. In case the walls do fail, people appear to shut themselves in within these within their homes in order to hold out and wait for any kind of reinforcements from others in the town. You know that there is a small militia and a sentry that is posted along the walls at all times. You can see that there's only one way in and out of town, which is the main, or rather more like it's not even really a village. It's a rather small little settlement. So they don't even have like a church of any kind here. There's no shrine or anywhere to pray. People have, when you kind of peek into the windows, you can see there are some small shrines that those who do keep faith have built within their homes. But for the most part, you know that it is a community that comes together, but is also very private. Each one inside of this small little fortress of a camp, like it's little more than just a well-kept campsite for the most part. And each one of these groups really keeps themselves, although they are friendly and they all work together. Is there anything else of import that you would be looking for, or does that about sum up what you were probably trying to find?
I think she would probably be satisfied with that. Just taking a look around.
Excellent.
Yeah, Kyle's really also just kind of getting the lay of the land and stretching her legs a little bit after being on a weird boat ride.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very weird boat ride.
And much like the small shrines that you had seen making your way, just kind of taking a look around, Camellia and Marin, when you enter the home, you are greeted by a, again, very friendly family of half-orcs that welcome you into their home. You can see that they're not hiding their belongings from you, but you can tell they've definitely folded up and cleaned up quite a bit. There's not much here. As far as you can tell, but you can see as you enter, there is a large wardrobe closet of some kind that some belongings are being put away in, although they do have a small little shrine at the back of their home that appears to be dedicated to Silit, the titan of agriculture and civilization. And they are very, very happy to welcome you into their home. And as you are kind of getting settled in, and Camellia, you begin the preparations for this ceremony that you're going to prepare for your hosts. Marin, you are kind of looking over something that you had found on the boat during the struggles of what had occurred when you were attacked. One of the redcaps appears to have lost the large iron shoes that are of their Their namesake is the red cap, but what they're really known for are these giant, just heavy iron boots. And you were awarded a treasure from chat, and your treasure is the misplaced boots. You have a pair of large iron boots that you've recovered from the red cap.
Okay. They appear to be mundane. Do I have any sense of that?
Make an Arcana check.
This will not go well.
East Van Boot or Das Boot?
It's Das Boot. It is Das Boot.
Can I guidance myself on this?
Yeah, you can absolutely guidance yourself for sure.
Okay. So it's not gonna matter because I could only get 8 with that.
Ooh,
So we got a 5.
Really?
goodness.
I'm
Marin,
not good at books and
you...
identifying magic.
No, it's cool. Do you have detect magic at all, or are you just relying on the fact that the boot is made of boot? Yes.
Yes, appears to be made of boot. No, I don't think I actually have detect magic right now.
Okay. Well, again, without being pedantic, you do know that these are the shoes that you had recovered from the altercation you just had with these fey creatures. You know that these boots are rather small. They are meant to fit onto a small fey creature. However, they are oversized, and so you felt like if you yourself tried to put them on, that you just might be able to, to Cinderella squeeze your way into this massive bit of smaller footwear. Do you want to try to put the shoes on? Or are you going to just, hold on to them and observe them for a bit?
Yeah, I think I might just mind link Camellia real quick and say I found these boots. They're from the Fae, right? Probably something to them. Do you think there's anything useful about these?
Well, it depends. If you're a
Blacksmith and you're trying to make something out of the iron,
I cast detect magic.
Detect magic. Okay. You absolutely sense a magical aura coming off of these boats, Camellia.
What kind of aura?
It is an enchantment aura.
Yep. The boots are in fact made of magic boot.
Likewise.
You believe I'm actually playing a character who's not good at Arcana? For like once?
Yes, you can sense that there is I wouldn't say powerful magical effect. There definitely is a magical effect associated with these boots. But there seems to be, let's see, what does this thing tell you? It says you can use your action faint aura. Yeah, you definitely can see the faint aura, and there's something odd about it. But, I mean, no more odd than any other magical item. How many, do you own any magical items yourself?
Oh yes, I have my Stone of Good Luck, my Robe of Useful Items.
It gives off definitely a similar aura than to like your robe in terms of like raw strength, but it definitely is a little weird. There's something else there too that you can't quite put your finger on.
Well, I can't imagine.
that any magic that was performed by the Unseelie would be deleterious to mortals, so I think you should be...
Fairy's bad. The good folk. The fair folk. Yes.
But you say they're magic? I'll try them on.
Okay. You...
Because I know, like, magic stuff will, like, form to you, so I'm like, fuck it. If it's bad, I will uncurse myself. I've done this before.
All right,
Like
and
a true scientist.
Yeah.
as you put on the boots, they do actually extend out. The boots themselves stay the very oversized, child-sized. Like it looks like it could be a normal shoe, but the inside actually does expand out and allow you to slip them on. However, and much like you were already kind of prepared for.
So is this like pocket dimension shoe where I look like I have tiny kid feet?
No, it's more like like shoes that you could puff up to fill with air to like kind of squeeze and hold onto your feet a little more.
Pumps.
Yeah, it's like that. As you place them in, the fabric within expands out to receive your foot and then like kind of squishes in on you. And as the fabric re-squishes in upon you, you can feel it pinching just a little bit too tight. As not only do you have the benefit of the magical effect giving you the Ironbound Pursuit feature, you can add the action Ironbound Pursuit, much like a red cap is able to use. You are able to now this is going to be based off of your save instead of the creature's save. So it's going to be a DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your Constitution modifier is going to be your save for this. Or I'm sorry, not your Constitution, your strength.
Oh, I was going to say my Constitution's +3, but my Strength's +1.
Okay.
So 13.
13. Okay, so you'll have a DC 13 save, or they'll take 3d10 plus 4 bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. So that is now a new action that you have. However, you are also cursed, as these boots have now taken and immediately attuned to you, and you feel compelled to not remove these boots. They pinch at you slightly. You do not want to take them off, and you have earned the flaw. I like crushing things with my shoes.
New boot goofing.
So just to recap, you have the flaw, I like crushing things with my shoes. This is an attunable magic item that has given you the Ironbound Pursuit feature. Likewise, because these boots are made of iron, whenever you are moving around, you have disadvantage on your dexterity checks. Any of your dexterity stealth checks. Any dexterity stealth
Did you
checks.
just make this up?
Did I make this up? Absolutely not. I'm a DM that knows everything about all things at every bit of time, and I was prepared.
Because I was going to be really impressed if you made that up.
I made it up.
Fall days when the leaves are really crunchy are going to be extra satisfying now.
Just sitting there like the kid in class with a bulging vein when it's fall outside and you're stuck inside.
Boots are made for goofing.
That being said, because of the these boots, because they are meant for stomping, these boots were made for walking. Whenever you are using an athletics check, a strength athletics check that you are able to keep your feet on the ground for, you make the check with advantage. So disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks, advantage on athletics checks as long as your boots are touching the ground, flaw to stomp on things, and then the Ironbound Pursuit feature. And it is cursed to where you do not want to remove them.
Is there any way for me to know that I'm affected by a curse?
For this curse, no. This is a Fey artifact, and so normally this is
An artifact.
Well, the old English version of art. It's a magic item. This is a Fey item that has been imbued with the guile and trickery of the Fey of the Unseelie court. Generally, a lot of Fey lords and ladies, when they are binding creatures into their service, they have them make either some kind of deal, or they are able to trick them into giving something and getting something. Fey are a very interesting bunch, and generally, when redcaps are brought into service, they are gifted with these iron boots that are made specifically for them, and it binds them to their creator. So there is some Fey lord or lady that made these boots for that very particular redcap, and when you slew them, and they somehow got off of the creature during the altercation, and found their way to you, you have technically accepted the service of working for a Fey lord or lady. So, take that as it will. You basically are like a oversized redcap at this point.
I don't know if my god will appreciate that. We'll see.
But at this point, you have big old clunky feet.
Out of character, as long as you don't go around stomping innocent skulls or assisting the One Flesh or the Infernals. Realta is not like specifically anti-Fey.
Yeah,
Anti-cruelty, yes.
Yeah. And then to clarify, the boots don't say, I want to murder everyone. They just like stomping stuff. So whenever you see leaves in a walkway, you better crunch them. You know, if you have
Finish your drink, throw the bottle underneath.
Exactly. Uh-huh. So yeah, there you have it.
Nice shoes, and I go back to my tea.
And Marin, while you're futzing with figuring these things out, Camellia, you go back to your tea. I wouldn't say performance, but ritual. And
Yeah, it's non-denominational, by the way. It's more
Yeah.
about hospitality and welcoming and exchanging a meal than praying to any particular god.
Exactly. And before long, both Chi and Kyle are able to meet up with your group, and you all are able to finish the end of the ceremony and are able to enjoy this little get together. And as the sun dips below the mountains far to the south, you are able to begin finding your way to sleep, and the family wishes you well and is going to depart to go stay elsewhere, giving you your privacy.
Do I sleep this time?
So here's the thing. You do sleep, but I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom save during the course of your sleep, please. Let's go ahead and we'll take care of that until you are able to make a successful wisdom save. Every single time that you lay down to sleep for the night, you are going to have to make this save.
I'm good at wisdom saves. Like, it should have worked the first time.
I believe in you. Oh my gosh, is that an 11? Do you feel confident that that's going to succeed, or would you like to modify that in any way?
Did you record the
Sorry,
inspiration that you got, by the way?
Yes. Sorry, there's fireworks going off right outside my
Oh.
window because some people
Canada.
still celebrate Canada Day. And I live like very central. Anyway, I'm gonna use inspiration to take the advantage. Do you want me, like, because I have it set to auto roll advantage, do you want me to still make a second roll, because I normally would not have known what the result of the second roll would
No,
be?
you can go ahead and oh, well, there is 2 rolls there, so yeah, normally we would have not.
Normally I would be making a second roll. It's just I haven't turned off the roll with advantage feature on my character.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to give you the option, if you want, you can take that better roll, or you can roll again, but if you roll again, I'm taking that first slot again. So if you feel confident that a 16 is going to do it, you can take the 16 and we'll move on. But if you don't think it's going to be good enough.
I'm gonna be what feels fair to me, and I'm gonna do the roll, and also
Now, before you roll,
my character.
I want to offer you, if you would like to just wipe this and make sure that you do not suffer, you can give me 2 inspiration, and you will have pleasant dreams, and you will shake this curse from your personage.
There you go again, trying to get us to blow all of
What?
our.
No, I think it would be awful if you spent an inspiration and failed again. How dreadful would that be? So I'm just giving you a for sure and for certain option here. So you don't have to take it. You absolutely can make your roll. Oh,
That'll be a 12. It's okay. It's still
and with the inspiration, you were tossing and turning throughout the night, and without going into any detail that you're not comfortable with, Kyle, would you mind telling me what sort of dreams are going to be so profound and terrifying that they are going to wake you up in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Kyle is seeing that headless horseman again, that nightmare. And like riding around her, like horse, louder and louder, the trampling of hooves, and this like demonic sounding neighing, and she is still can't shake that feeling that this is someone she knows. And right before it wakes her up, she starts to notice more familiar things. confirmation perhaps of the identity in her dream anyway of this horseman. She sees a familiar tattoo. She sees a necklace, a locket that she's seen before in life, in dreams, in nightmares. And at the moment that her eyes like lock on that around the neck of this horseman, that's when she wakes up like in a silent scream and a cold sweat.
And it is at that point that you are awoken by the dreadful dream, but you are also awoken by the screams of the people, the dreadful dream that you had blended with reality, as there is horrible, ear-splitting screaming and yelling that's going on. This wakes up not only yourself, Kyle, but the rest of your party as well.
Kyle sleeps with her boots on and has her sword in her hand like almost instantly. Even if this had just been a nightmare with no reality in it, she would still wake up with her hand on her sword. That's just kind of like a default.
Yeah.
Like she reaches for it. And so like she wakes up in this cold sweat. She has her hand on her sword already, and she's on her feet almost before she's even realized that some of this terror is Jesus. I think that might have been a gunshot and not a firework. But hey. Yes, she just adds to the tension of the scene, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, hand on her sword, and she's on her feet and headed towards the door almost before she's really registered what's happening.
And Kyle, you are making your way out into the night, and you can see that across the way from you, maybe about 40 or 50 feet away, in one of the nearby houses, you can see that there is blood that has pooled on the outside of the location. There is a large tear, or it looks like something ripped its way in through the roof, and you can see scratch marks all across the ground as you make your way closer. What do the rest of you do as Kyle wakes up in a cold sweat, grabs their sword, and runs out the door towards the screaming?
I was gonna say Chi jumps up quickly as well, and she might have tried to stop Kyle from going outside first, but seeing that Kyle's just making a beeline, possibly doesn't even know why she's making a beeline out the door, she would just follow as closely as possible to her, and then obviously see what's going on.
And the rest of you?
Marin's always ready to go. That passive 19 perception is going to be constantly, it's just scanning noise constantly, so I'm going to be just bolting just straight out of bed, just upright, and just running.
Perfect. And then you, Camellia. Oh, go ahead.
Camellia lurches just straight upright from lying flat on his back. With seawater just completely staining the front of his clothes, lurches to his feet, and walks out, just staggering, still half asleep, just starts walking. No idea what's going on, just start walking.
Yeah. All right. And as you all are rushing and dashing your way over, Camellia, you trailing a little bit behind since you're kind of making your way slowly but surely, you can see that the townsfolk around you begin not leaving, but there are those that are peering out from the sanctity and safety of their homes. And there is a small child that when you see them... Oh, wrong thing. Why is that doing that? Oh, bleh, bleh.
How'd she get here?
How did she get here? No. Where the heck is my... No, it's not.
Well, that was auspicious.
No.
I'm just gonna...
There we go. Okay, cool.
Sorry, I have to traumatize you with a different child. Give me a moment.
There is as you approach,
So many children here.
you can see a small halfling girl. She, you realize initially, all of you know you're looking for a halfling girl. So when you see this small child, you kind of go, "Oh, whoa, hey, look, it's a small halfling girl." And then you kind of realize, wait a minute, there's a lot of small halfling girls in the world. And Kyle, you see before you Duriana in just a moment, and you are filled with the urge to just run up and wrap her in a big hug as you finally found her. And as you approach, your heart sinks as you realize this isn't Duriana. This is This is another halfling child. She looks a bit younger, probably more like 12 or 13, just moving into her oh gosh, what's that word for not quite an adult? Adolescent, moving into their adolescent years. And they appear to be more frightened than hurt, although you do see there's a couple of scrapes on them. And they are almost catatonic, just kind of staring out, looking just past you, like they've just seen a ghost.
I'm still going to approach them, like crouch down a little bit, like arm around their shoulder if they don't pull away from me.
They don't.
And just start up a stream of consciousness, reassurances that Kyle doesn't believe for a second, not with what she's seeing in front of her, but she just wants to give this child something to focus on other than what's happening behind her, just a grounding touch and a voice, as she starts to like guide her away from there, just the opposite direction, just not here.
And as you pull her away, can you make a persuasion check, please? She is going to go with you, but I want to see how well your distraction is helping pull her away from the situation.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's not.
Do you want to take that as it is? Let it ride? This does not mean failure. A low roll does not mean failure. It just changes how things are going to happen in the scene. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle would, especially after having a moment of thinking that she had found Juliana and now, she hasn't, like she's going to be wrapped up in trying to help this child, and I'm definitely going to use that other inspiration and roll that again.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, so she's just too distressed to be effective at all. I think she's having too much trouble believing this herself. She's too worried.
And it's not that you're not effective, because obviously you know how to console somebody, but it's as you said, the shock of thinking that you found the person that you were looking for. And as you look in, you see not only is there the blood that has been pooling out of the house, but you see that there are others still within the home, but they're not moving. And that sight, you're a hardened warrior. It doesn't trouble you, but just realizing what this young girl had to likely deal with, you're stammering to try to find the words to console her. And it's your touch more than anything, that another mortal being, not a monster, that she follows you and moves away from the scene. What do the rest of you do?
I want to fly up. Is there an actual like big hole in the roof up here?
Yes, there's an enormous hole in the roof.
I want to fly up and see if I can land on something that seems pretty sturdy still up there. And then I kind of want to peer, or like I want to look around. Like I kind of want to look inside, look around to see if I can find anything that might be useful, or kind of maybe see what it looks like on the inside. You don't have to give graphic details.
Yeah.
But...
Go ahead and make a either investigation or perception check for me, please.
Perception. I'm never gonna do investigation. I have a -1.
No worries. And as you look within, you definitely see that just by taking a quick look around, you're able to see that there is a lot of there's an open pantry that's just filled with food. You can see multiple different cots and places for sleeping, and you imagine that there were at least half a dozen, if not more, people that were staying here. A large family. Only one person remaining alive, and you can see the forms of others that were not as fortunate as this young halfling girl. There was something monstrous that was here. You haven't gotten close enough to be able to see anything in particular, but you do see right next to the beam that you are resting on that there are large gashes that have been scratched into the roof. It appears that something clambered onto here and just tore away the roof to get inside of this building. And it seemed to be, despite the fact that this house has been shored up against possible attack, it was almost nothing compared to whatever it was that tore its way through here.
Okay. The other thing I want to do, and then we can give someone else a shot. I want to drop into the house.
Okay.
And I want to I'm checking for two things. I want to check to see if any of them are alive or need, like, if they need any kind of help or anything like that. And I'm also checking to see. Sorry, my cats, if you can hear them, I
That's
don't
okay.
know. I'm checking to see if anything looks wet, and not wet by blood, but wet by water.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the last part about water?
Yeah, she's checking to see if anyone or if anything looks wet, like the gashes, if there's any water droplets or anything like that, like anywhere.
Water drop. Yes, I see. But going off of your previous perception check, you are able to ascertain that considering the condition that the rest of the family is in, there's no way that any of them would have been clinging to life. And by looking around, you do not see anything that looks as though there was like pooling water or anything to that regard. If it was something that could have been, bringing any kind of water droplets or any intense moisture of any kind, it likely looks like it would have gotten blended in with the scene before you. But nothing like that, not a lot of water to say, yes.
Okay.
And Marin and Camellia?
Is there any indication that there's any threat still left, or did we all just wake up after everything was over somehow?
As you put your ear and just kind of listen and look around, you can see that there's been no damage to the outer walls. When you look, you are able to look down the way and see that as this trail of claw marks that has been dug into the ground, it moves to the wall, and you can see whatever it was. There are no claw marks along the wall, so whatever it was able to either avoid leaving any marks along the wall, or it cleared the wall without needing to climb over it. And you don't sense any kind of danger. You hear the sounds of wildlife, the calling of night birds, and the buzzing of insects, but nothing that would lead you to believe anything is lingering around at this point.
Did we see where the family whose home we're staying in went to stay the night? When they left, did we see where they went to?
You did not follow them, but you do not see any of those people here.
Do I see another house that has the lights on, or looks like it has people in it, somewhere to take this girl to?
Oh yes, you can see all of the lights. As soon as this happened, they all lit fires or had created some kind of light source within their home, and you can see that either some doors are open, the windows have been unlatched, and people are looking out at this scene, but nobody has as of yet left. You can see that there is a buzzing of guards along the walls that have not left their post, but they do appear to be trying to track something that could have gone out into the wilds beyond.
Okay, I just want to take her to whoever is nearest. Just so that she's with a family or something before we do anything further.
And there's a nearby house right over here that as they notice that you're kind of looking around for some assistance, a young woman comes out from the home and calls out to the girl, and she reluctantly leaves your side, but then goes with the neighbor that she knows and is able to enter within the house and is at least temporarily safe at this point.
Okay.
She's gonna walk out of the house, and she looks visibly like angry as she looks around and see like none of the townsfolk are moving around, none of the guards or anything like that look like they are like doing anything, and she's just gonna say, "These people do not care for their own." That is infuriating. And she looks like she's trying not to get like super upset about it, but
And what can they do in the face of such creatures?
Is there anyone alive in there?
she kind of looks back and she goes, "There were many people in here, and yet they do not care."
Drake kind of just seemingly coming out of nowhere just pops from around the house. Well, I think they care. They're just much like he had said. He kind of gestures over at Camellia. They're rather frightened, I would say. I was asking some of the nearby settlers, and they seemed to indicate that it was a large beast that appeared to fly over the wall and trample its way over here. It picked, for some reason, this house beyond all others, crashed in through the roof, and there were eyewitnesses saying that they saw it absconding back into the night, carrying people within its jaw, and just, again, flew over the wall and went off into the jungle. Currently, it seems that the guards are attempting to just secure the perimeter to ensure nothing else enters, but... Hey, good job helping the girl. That's amazing that someone was left alive. Well done.
Did it leap or did it fly?
They're saying it flew, but everyone was inside their houses and mostly reacted to hearing the horrible scuffle.
Chi, do you think perhaps it left a piece of itself anywhere within this accursed home?
I looked around. All I can see are the gashes in the walls, and she kind of like looks up at the roof. I couldn't find anything. I did look for water. I had a inkling it might be what we came from, but
As if
I
there's
can't say
any
for sure.
shortage of monstrosities in this accursed place.
When Camellia asks if it maybe left a piece of itself, Kyle wants to start inspecting the like scratch and drag marks to see if maybe there is like a piece of a claw or something that might have broken off somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check, please. A 19. As you are taking a look and making your way inside of this now pretty, not destroyed, but definitely decimated home, you don't find a claw, but what you do find is a tooth, a rather large tooth. It almost looks like it belongs to like a shark, some kind of long razor bladed tooth that appears to have not broken away, but just probably fallen out of whatever mouth it had previously been residing in. Likewise,
And it seems like that's happened recently.
it doesn't look like a trophy. It definitely looks like it's just kind of scattered amongst the scene. Not kept as an heirloom or a token of any kind, but likely from, you would guess, from the creature that was here. Additionally, you do see up on the ceiling, there isn't any kind of like water, but you see some kind of little ichor. There was a sharp piece of roofing that had apparently caught whatever it was that came through here, and maybe slightly damaged it. And there's a little bit of this kind of almost caustic looking. It's not like it is melting the wood that it's against, but it definitely looks like it's clinging to it, and it appears to be more like ooze than blood.
How high up?
No, of a fair.
Can I reach it with a sword tip?
Yeah, you can reach with a sword tip for sure.
Yeah, so Kyle will scrape some of that away and then like wipe it off onto like a handkerchief and bring that and the tooth. Bring that and the tooth to Camellia.
And as you all gather on the outside of the house and are looking through the items that Kyle collected, there is a large but older looking bugbear that exits one of the nearby homes. And with a large cudgel that is used as kind of like a walking staff, it calls out to you as it approaches. That's the Caipiscada.
Sorry, the what?
Caipiscada. And it kind of
Caipiscada.
moves up to join your group and kind of leans forward. Yep. Big serrated cone tooth. Ichor from the body. And yeah, it was huge. That was a Caipiscada for sure.
You have dealt with one of these before,
Absolutely not. That thing's death.
but you have seen it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
we would be interested to know what you know of this creature.
Well, I talked to a sailor one time. Came through here not long ago. He said he never even saw it. It was already upon them. Some kind of monstrous hybrid of crocodile and toad. Maybe some fish in there with the gills. Whatever it was enormous, ferocious, and incredibly hungry. As far as I can tell, this thing stalks both terrestrial and aquatic lands. Goes either in the canopy as it moves around or swims within the water. The crazy thing about it is you can't see it coming. It's almost indistinguishable from its surroundings when it holds very still.
In the canopy, as in the tops of the tree?
Yeah. Some say that it nests up in the trees. Some say that when it finds a meal, it goes down in some kind of weird cavernous hole along the river and just kind of waits until it's done digesting the stuff and then comes back out to eat again because it's always hungry.
Kyle looks at the rest of the group and says, if this is the creature we encountered earlier,
You encountered this thing?
it was hungry again quite fast.
Yeah, that
He
sounds
turns back
like
to
it.
the red bear and says, I mean, some things that fits the description.
Your name? Friend.
Nop.
Nop. Tell me, Nop. Do you have a lobster pot?
No, but I got a pot.
That will do. And I pull the old stinky clam from my bag.
Oh, God. Okay, well, just wash it out when you're done, huh? And it goes and retrieves the pot for you.
Okay. I'm going to start casting scrying. And I'm going to hold the tooth as an anchor for the spell.
Kyle is going to turn her back to where you're casting, sword drawn, just an eye on the surroundings, particularly in the direction that the thing seems to have left in.
You do your thing. And Marin just touches their holy symbol and starts flying and following the tracks to see if they can see where this thing has gone to get a better idea of where it's going.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and make a survival check for me, please.
She's still like visibly upset. She'll fly up in the air and follow Marin, like sort of like a little glide above them.
Did you want to make your own survival check to assist, or did you want to help Marin?
I can assist. I
All
won't
right.
make my own.
Go ahead and roll again, Marin, and take the better.
18.
With an 18, yes, you are able to discover the trail. And how long does your fly last?
I can do it 4 times. It lasts for a minute. But
4
I'm mostly
times
just
lasts
like
a minute.
not being obstructed by the wall. I'm just going straight over where it went over.
You move at a rate of 50 or 30?
I do 30.
You do 30. Okay,
She does 50.
perfect. And as you are, I think actually the Owlin has the same
But I'll
flight
be
speed
doing
as the low
60
speed.
because I'm dashing.
Oh, but you're a monk, so that's why you're faster as well. Okay. As you both are flying together, and Chi, you can stay as close as you would like. You're both able to pick out a
I'm
path.
also going to, while she's with me, I'm going to tap them, and they're going to share my 300-foot dark vision
Oh, nice.
for the next hour.
Very good. Okay.
Cool.
And as you are tracking, it takes a little bit of time. You are moving rather quickly since you're flying above the trees, although even though it is leaving, you're initially following the scratch marks and the underbrush that it appears to be disturbing, but this is quite a stealthy hunter as well. So apparently once it is able to find a path that it's comfortable with, it becomes more difficult, and you have to get closer and closer past the canopy of the jungle in order to see it. And It takes you quite a bit of time, but you are able to follow a path that you are pretty certain you'd be able to track. This goes actually further from the dense jungle and moves closer toward the river. You're pretty certain that as long as too much time doesn't pass, as long as you can try and pick it up the next day, you'd reasonably be able to try to track this down to where it is.
Okay. On the way back, I'm going to be marking the trees along the path back with chalk.
Okay.
To make it so we don't even have to try to find it. In case it's too wet and it just sponges back out, the trees are still going to be marked with chalk.
Yeah. Is it like magical chalk or is it just like regular chalk?
It's chalk.
Okay.
It's just regular chalk, but I carry several pieces of chalk for tracking and things like this.
Perfect. Yeah, as long as you make a large enough marking, it shouldn't be taken. It shouldn't
Right.
dissolve overnight. Okay, so you go ahead and you are able to track down this creature if you choose to do so going forward. Moving back to the rest, it takes 10 minutes for you to cast your spell, Canalia. But Kyle, while that's happening, do you do anything else? Or are you
That was
good with
to
just
Kyle, right?
guarding? Yeah, are you good with just guarding Camellia?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. All right,
I
Camellia.
won't leave him on his own.
What happens during the course of your spell casting while you scry? And what is it that you're trying to scry on?
I'm going to scry on the creature that just attacked this village.
Oh.
I have a piece of its tooth, which inflicts a -10 on its wisdom saving throw.
Very good. Okay, wisdom it is. And that would be a total of an 8 with a -10.
+5 because I only have secondhand knowledge of it, so a 13, which still doesn't save.
No dice.
I will gaze into the pot with the clam with a priceless 1000 GP pearl hidden within its depths, and as I stir within and mutter to myself, I perceive.
Behold, an act of God.
What is it? What is it?
Salt harvest.
What?
There's Herald.
No
Those
way.
who reap lies shall. Those who sow lies shall reap a bitter truth. I will send the in-game effect to you.
And mate, we had 2 of those, right?
What's the other one?
Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
What was the first one? The first one was Feast of Sorrows, right? Yeah, the first one was a level tier 10. No, we had the Healing Touch, and then we had. Damn it! What was the other one?
With the bells, we had the nightmares, we had the bells, then we had the healing touch, and then we had the.
We had 2 acts of God earlier today.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of them was the healing thing, and what was the other one?
I don't know why I can't remember right now. What the heck?
It's a
Yeah,
good question.
It's
Here,
completely escaping.
I'm
me.
looking. Just a moment.
Was the nightmare one, or was that?
No, that was a Bane.
The nightmares from last session. Yeah,
Right.
I could swear it was a Bane though.
There was a Bane. What was it?
When,
Was it the
when
red-
the
when
magic
binary-
stuff blowing up.
when Binary dropped theirs, we got the heal, which was a boon, and then we got the Bane, which was the Fae. It was Fae. Correct? It was the red. It was the red caps.
It was the red caps.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Okay.
red-
The one from last
caps.
the one from last time was the magic stuff blowing up.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, Matt. I passed you in DMs what this card actually does. You can decide if you want to deploy it right now as a cliffhanger or whatever you want to do.
Where did you send it to me?
In your DMs in Discord.
I don't even see it.
It's the very last thing I said.
Oh,
I'll GM whisper it too. Here you go. That's what Despair's Herald Tier 3 does. Salt Harvest.
before
Those who see-
before I
Go
just
ahead.
oh no before I cue that one. Did we get 1 or 2 just now?
We're over 40 total.
Right, but we started with 10.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Okay,
Started with
perfect.
10.
Okay.
So we're up to date now, I think.
Oh my god, I don't want to do this right now. I didn't expect that to drop. Okay. A lie is revealed by force or happenstance.
Do it. Do it.
Mates,
That's my line.
as you are staring upon this this crocatoad, the Caipiscada, as you've been told, you can see that it's inside one of those weird underground burrows, very similar to the one that you had seen Duriana bound in with all of those other weird fish creatures. However, as you are looking through here, you can see not only is the Caipiscada curled up near that collection of weird rocks that those people had been bound to. It's kind of made its nest among that collection of rocks, but instead of having people bound to those rocks, there's just piles of regurgitated bodies that it no longer had to consume the energy from, that are making almost like a throne of bones and flesh and rot. Within, though, you're able to see not only are there the remains of these unfortunate mortal creatures, but you can see, while withered and dried out considerably, it still is underground and a bit murky here, and you can see the destroyed forms of those fish folk, the transformed beings. It seems as though this hole that the Caipiscada has made its own, it had taken from a group of these weird fish invaders that the people in this very settlement had informed you that these fish folk have been coming onto the land, taking people. Normally, this community defends itself from those particular individuals that come here and try and take their people back and leave with them. This time, though, the Caipiscada that had been tracking your group apparently had been drawn to the scent of this village and attacked instead. And as you pull yourself out of this scrying, as you still have the magical sight beyond sight that lets you peer into other areas of the world, as you pull yourself out of this magical ritual that you've performed, you look up and you see Drake sitting before you, and you feel a weight on your shoulders as large hands that feel like they weigh 1,000 crushing pounds but are not bearing you into the ground. You realize that it's the weight of guilt, the weight of lies, the weight of something, a secret that's being kept that needs to be revealed. And you hear, as something presses into you without moving to you, a whisper. He is not as he seems. Look closer. And as you blink, you can see before you not the form of Vernon and Drake, but you see a beautiful, bright, and gleaming Fey prince. There is an individual that is made of holly leaves and has porcelain skin with small little, not cracks, but the little brambles and bunches and knots that trees will get. It is this beautiful looking tree man with this cascading hair of holly leaves and a bow upon his back, a sword upon his side, and he's wearing very little, and you can see this very beautiful form. And as you look upon Vernon and Drake and he flashes into this very alluring and mystifying figure, you blink and Drake sits before you once more. And that's going to be where we end tonight's episode of Curse of Tamreon. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. I'm looking forward to moving on with our story as we return next week. Until then, thank you very much to my fellow cast members for enjoying this story with me. I hope it was fun for you all. But have a great night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you to everyone who was hanging out.
Have a good night.
Bye.